Canada, the land of opportunity, where millions have come to build a better life. But something has changed. More and more immigrants are packing up and leaving the country in search of greener pastures elsewhere. So why are immigrants leaving Canada in droves? And what's behind this growing trend? In today's video, we're diving into the real reasons, unfiltered, real facts, that are driving people to say goodbye to Canada. You won't believe the numbers. Stick around, because this might just change the way you view the Great White North. Why immigrants are leaving Canada, the untold truth. Number 1, the Great Migration, a startling trend. Canada's immigration policies have long been praised for being inclusive and welcoming. In fact, over 400,000 immigrants arrived in Canada in 2023 alone. But what's shocking is that at the same time, Canada saw a significant number of immigrants leave the country. Yes, you heard that right. It's not just about people arriving anymore. It's about people leaving. In 2023, about 90,000 immigrants decided to leave Canada. That number is expected to rise in 2024 and possibly peak in 2025, with projections estimating around 1 lakh immigrants might say goodbye to Canada in 2024, and an even higher number in 2025, depending on the state of the economy. Number 2, the economic strain, cost of living crisis. Now, you might be wondering what's driving these people to leave. Let's talk numbers. Inflation. Canada has seen an inflation rate hovering around 3.8% in 2023. And even though it's slightly cooling, it still impacts everything: housing, groceries, and utilities. Let's break it down. The price of groceries in Canada has skyrocketed. In 2023, the average Canadian household spent over $13,000 a year on food, up nearly 10% from the previous year. A gallon of milk now costs around $5. Vegetables? $4 to $5 per pound on average. But it's not just food. It's housing, too. Housing prices in cities like Toronto and Vancouver have reached sky-high levels. The average price of a home in Canada has increased to over $7 lakh, while rent for a basic apartment in Toronto can set you back anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500 per month. How can young immigrants fresh off the plane make a life here when they can barely afford the basics? The affordability crisis is real, and it's pushing many people out of the country. People who came to Canada seeking a better future, but are now finding themselves stuck in an impossible situation. Number 3. Per month expenses. The harsh reality. Let's talk about the cost of living in numbers. A single person in Canada on average needs about $2,000 per month just to cover basic expenses: rent, utilities, transportation, food, and health insurance. In some cities, this number is even higher, with $3,000+ per month becoming the new reality. For families, it's not uncommon to see monthly expenses climb to well over $5,000. And this is where the story takes a turn. Many immigrants who come to Canada are used to tight budgets, but when their monthly expenses are no longer sustainable, they start looking elsewhere. Countries with lower living costs, better job opportunities, or even just a more affordable standard of living are starting to look more attractive than ever. Number 4, job market and wages, the disconnect. But it's not just about what you spend, it's also about what you earn. Canada's job market can be competitive, and wages aren't keeping up with the rising cost of living. The minimum wage in most Canadian provinces sits at around $15 to $18 per hour. But even full-time workers can struggle to cover basic expenses when housing costs are through the roof and inflation is eating away at their income. Immigrants come to Canada for better job prospects, but many are finding that the high-paid jobs they were promised simply aren't there. Without access to affordable housing and rising expenses, people are choosing to return home, or in some cases, seek opportunities in countries where the cost of living is more in line with what they earn. Number 5. Mental health and social challenges. The immigrant struggle. Moving to a new country can be a challenge, and for many immigrants in Canada, the social and emotional toll is too much to bear. Mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, and feelings of isolation are increasing. Many immigrants, especially those coming from countries with strong family ties, feel the weight of being away from loved ones, and this can impact their decision to stay. Research suggests that over 50% of immigrants face mental health challenges due to isolation, cultural barriers, and financial stress. These emotional hurdles are just as real as the financial ones, and for many, they become the tipping point. Number 6. Immigration backlogs and long wait times, the frustration factor. Another frustrating reality is the bureaucratic red tape surrounding immigration. Canada's immigration system, while considered one of the best, is also known for its delays and backlogs. For immigrants seeking permanent residency or work permits, wait times can stretch to years. And this uncertainty creates frustration. This ongoing backlog is causing many to reconsider their options, especially when countries like the United States and Australia are improving their immigration processes. Instead of waiting indefinitely for status updates, immigrants are leaving for places where the path forward is clearer. Number 7. The political climate, a divisive nation? The political climate in Canada has been a growing concern for many newcomers. While Canada has long prided itself on being inclusive, certain policies and political rhetoric have made some immigrants feel unwelcome. Immigration debates, rising nationalist sentiment, and a shift toward more conservative politics have created a tense atmosphere, leading some immigrants to rethink their future here. Some immigrants feel that the welcoming atmosphere they once thought Canada offered is fading, making them question whether they truly belong. In such an environment, it's easy to see why some would decide to leave for countries with a more welcoming or stable political landscape. Number 8. Future projections. What happens in 2025? So what's next? Will this trend continue? The truth is, it's hard to say, but based on the data, it's clear that the issues surrounding the cost of living, job market, and social factors are not going away anytime soon. If the government doesn't take more decisive action to address the affordability crisis, we might see even more immigrants packing their bags and heading for countries with a lower cost of living, better job prospects, and an overall better quality of life. Projections for 2025 suggest that the number of immigrants leaving Canada could exceed 100,000, a concerning trend that raises questions about the sustainability of Canada's current immigration policies. So, what can be done to change this course? Well, only time will tell. So, what do you think? Is Canada still the land of opportunity? Or are rising costs, stagnant wages, and social challenges driving immigrants away for good? With projections showing even higher numbers of people potentially leaving in 2025, this question is more urgent than ever. If you're an immigrant or even thinking about moving to Canada, what would it take for you to stay or leave? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more insights on Canada's immigration story. The conversation is just getting started. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay informed, stay inspired, and keep questioning the world around you.